Red Bull Global Rallycross Lites driver. Excited about Rallycross because it's definitely the most fun form of racing I've done. This was my first race weekend. I was sick in Fort Lauderdale, also couldn't race, so this was my debut weekend. Definitely a lot of stuff to get used to. I haven't really driven this car much on dirt, so I had to get used to using the handbrake. That was a little bit tricky. That was my weakness from the beginning of the weekend. So we started working on it, we got it good on pavement, and then we just tried to survive on dirt, and I qualified second for the first race. First race I had a bad start. I had never done a launch in the car, so I let the clutch out a little bit too soon and it bogged down, so I ended up second. In the second heat, I messed up the start again. It's weird because you have a green light, and then I went on as soon as the red lights went out. I went because that's what I'm used to seeing in like Formula One, and it's just your impulse. As soon as it goes out, you're like, you want to go, and then so I ended up getting a penalty in that, and then that put me into LCQ, which I didn't think I'd end up in the LCQ because I thought that it was the average of the two heats, but it's just progressive heats. So then I was able to make it to the LCQ. I won the LCQ by a decent gap, so that was easy, but just unnecessary. The final, I had to start from pretty far back because of that, and then they had watered down the track, and it made the turn after the jump really slippery, and almost every single person cut it. And then the second time I went there, it was still like that. It's like hitting oil. You just put you straight off the track, and I ended up getting a penalty for it, so then that put me way back, and by then my race was kind of over, and then I was racing against my teammate, and we had touched a little bit, and it started to make my tire go down gradually. Throughout the race, my left rear tire was going down, and I felt it, and leaning the right handers, it made it hard to go through, and then eventually it went flat, and when it went flat, it was crazy. It was almost an immediate spin out because you just lose so much grip, and then I just had to survive the last 2 laps and made it through and finished 5th.